Welcome back, my dear student. In this lecture here, we're going to be starting the code that is going to be displaying some dynamic data from our database table called categories. All right. So we are inside underscore nav.php. I'm just going to take some of this code out of here because we don't need it right now, just so that way we have a clean slate here. All right. There we go. So what I want to do is I want to create a variable here called query, and you can name this whatever you want. And we're going to do this the old-fashioned way first. That way you get a good idea on what it is that we're going to be doing with the helper functions later. All right, so we're going to write a string here called select, all right, all from categories. I'm just going to put this in. And you're going to see some developers use all lowercase here. It's best practice to actually put uppercases on your SQL statements, all right? So we're going to select all from the categories, and then we are going to be using a function to send it. Send query. So we're going to use MySQLi query, and we're going to send it in with the connection, and we're going to send in, of course, the query. All right? That's how we're going to do it. And that's it. Now I should get back the categories, but now we get it back right here in this result set, and we need to loop through that because it comes in like in an array, associative array, and we need to loop through it so that way we can see what's going on in our database. We're going to use another variable here, and this is going to act like an array. And we're going to use another function called MySQLi fetch array. There's also fetch ACASS like this C. That's going to bring an associative array back. This is going to bring an array like this. All right, and let's get it right here. Now we can display those categories. I'm just going to paste that in here. I'm going to take the double quotes out of here because I want to be able to use some of the variables inside here. I just like to use single quotes here and double quotes right here outside. There we go. All right, that way I can go ahead and display, use this curly brackets right here, and I can go ahead and say row, and this is why it's so useful. You see that? Row, and it's going to be called cat title. There we go. All right, I'm going to take all this out of here. Let me see if I had something there. List group item. All right, nothing that I want. Let's go ahead and see if this works. All right, we might have a mistake, and I'll show you how to debug in a minute if we do. So enter, and we do have a mistake. It says unexpected in line 15. Unexpected curly bracket. All right, let's see what I did. I forgot my semicolon. There you go. You see that? And that's what usually that is. Enter, undefined index. All right, and I'll show you what that means in a minute. So 13 right here, we got an undefined index because we didn't put the cat title in here. All right, and there we go. Cat title. All right, so I'm just going along and showing you some of the common mistakes here that you will make. You see example 1 and example 2. So now you got two dynamic categories there. Now if for some reason you had a problem here in your query, enter, this is going to display something like this with MySQLi. Basically it's going to give you an error saying that something's going on. It's because it's not receiving the query. But a better way actually is saying if not query. All right, then we display something like die. That's a function, and we're going to say query failed. MySQLi error. Now some of you already know this from my PHP for Beginners course, but I promise you I'll show you a different way, a better way of doing this when we put it in the function side. Enter, and now you see the query failed. All right, so that's a better way of doing it. Now I got other students from other courses that I probably have never taken my PHP for beginners, so they don't know that. So that's why I'm doing this. For those of you that know this, if you want to continue doing this, go ahead and do it. On the next lecture, I'm going to show you something a little bit different from what we have been doing in the PHP for Beginners course. All right, but keep in mind that I have other students and I have to show this from the beginner's perspective. All right, so anyway, thank you so much for watching this lecture, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.